Hi, I'm calling for DJ Tanner. This is Christian Serratos.
Yes, this is. How you doing, Christian?
Good. How are you doing?
Now, of course, everybody knows you now from your big show, Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
Do they know me from that right now?
I think no, you haven't worked since. I don't think.
What? Yeah. What's happening?
No, I'm just kidding. I know. Could you imagine? I did no research on this. I'm like, oh God.
No, I kind of thought that for a split second. I was like, this is going to go well for the next 9 minutes.
No, you were only a part of one of the biggest movie franchises with Twilight. That is crazy right there. That's a pretty good gig.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked on that. I had no idea it was going to turn out to be what it was, so it definitely took me for a loop. But I loved it.
Did you read the books going into it? Like, were you a fan and you kind of knew it'd maybe become something? So you're like, gotta get in on this.
No, I had no idea what it was. I had never even heard of the books. And, I got the call to go in to audition for it. And I was living in Nevada at the time. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to fly down for this. And so my agents just were, really like, no, seriously, this is going to be a huge thing. You should really fly down and go in for it. And then I found out what it was, and I started reading the books and just became like a diehard fan. So I was really stoked that I was on it, and that I didn't know what it was before I auditioned, because if I had, I probably wouldn't have booked it.
Really?
Yeah, I would have been nervous. Because I love the books. I became, like, a huge fan.
Yeah, look at it. It's massive. It's crazy. That's amazing that you were a part of that. And now it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like Twilight's for adults, like with Walking Dead. Is that, would you call it that? Is it?
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, they have the fan base is, I guess, similar in the sense that they're very passionate, and it is kind of sci-fi. So, yeah, maybe.
Now, before Seth and I got in here, we kind of, prepped our stuff, whatever, and we compared notes. And there was one question that we both had. We both had from The Walking Dead. You got to take this one, Seth?
Sure. I saw a lot of this on Twitter the day after your first episode aired. How do you keep your legs so smooth during the zombie apocalypse?
I was just talking to my mom about this, and I was like, is it funny if I just tell people it's sandpaper? Like that we just bring we have spare sandpaper in the car. She's like, no, it's not funny. But I have no answer for that. I guess it's just you have to use your imagination.
It's weird. You would think everyone would be walking around with just long body hair and BO, and here you are, like the least practically dressed person in the zombie apocalypse. But I'm sure,
I think I'm the most practically dressed.
Really?
I guess it's miserably hot.
Oh?
You're not traveling in a brand new ride. You're hot. You're trying to stay alive. Your clothes are dirty and probably smelly. She ripped all that up and was like, I'm going to be comfortable. I'm not going to be miserable and sweating in all this dirt and grime as I try to stay alive.
Is it miserably hot on set as well, or is that just in the show that's what we see?
Well, we film in Hotlanta. It's real hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was totally the only one that was kind of halfway comfortable because it was so hot. And we have to carry all the guns and stuff too. There's a lot to deal with.
You say practical, but I'm looking at a photo right now of you on set, and your boots are not even done up all the way, Christian. Come on, that's not. How is that practical? Your boots are the boots are all opened up, and you got all this skin showing, so you could easily get infected from the zombies.
If a zombie was going to bite Rosita Espinosa, a couple layers of a T-shirt are not going to help her.
Fair enough.
So you're saying she should be naked then? Is that what you're saying?
I think she probably should be. If it were me, I would be walking around naked in the apocalypse.
I think we got something there. Post a zombie apocalypse nudist colony. That'd be the biggest hit, because it's why, what's the big deal? No one's going to post pictures on Twitter or Facebook, right?
Exactly.
That's all down.
Yeah.
Well, your outfit actually reminds me of a couple of other characters from the Resident Evil, another zombie franchise, Mia Jovovich, Ali Larter. Do you get compliments about your comparisons there?
I've never seen Resident Evil.
What?
It's like a running joke. All my friends will tell you that I just don't watch what people claim are good movies. I just haven't seen any of them. I walked out of Anchorman. I was like, didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah. Is the interview over now?
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Yeah, that's all.
Sorry.
Now, you saying the whole, Seth mentioned Resident Evil and all this stuff. Are you kind of getting a part? I guess you probably did have it with Twilight, but a part of that whole fan base with the Comic-Cons and all that stuff. Is it kind of odd to be a part of a movie that kind of breaks that gap between the fans?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I've been, all my opportunities to work have been in films that, have like, comic book kind of following.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it, though, because I feel like those are the most interesting and passionate fans. And I've been to the Comic-Cons, and they just are the most fun in the world. So I'm sure the next role I get, if it's kind of like normal, if you will, I'd probably be bummed out because I just love the Comic-Con scene.
Well, because it's kind of more rewarding, I think, if you do like one of those serious drama type movies and then you go to the theaters and that's kind of it, and whatever else happens. But with shows like this and movies like Twilight, you see your fans. You're out there on the streets. You like the Comic Cons, and it must be a cool feeling. Is it very rewarding to have that?
Yeah, no, it is. It makes you really proud. I've already seen photos. Like, people send me photos on Twitter of them dressing up as Rosita, and I think that's just like the coolest thing in the world, that people get so hyped on these characters, and they finally get to see them like brought to life. And that makes them happy, and that makes me happy, because I feel the same way. Like, I became a huge fan of The Walking Dead, and even, me sitting down on Sundays watching the episodes, I still get really stoked and excited, so I totally get where, they're coming from.
I have to make a confession right now. I was Rick a couple years ago on Halloween before everyone got into the show, and I felt very hipster. No one knew who I was.
It's true, though. He showed up at work, and we just thought he was, like, drunk or something. He had this shirt
Drunk
that was...
cop.
Yeah, this cowboy hat and a stained-up shirt. We're like, what are you doing here, man? He's like...
Little do you know, he was, and he just played it off like he was Rick later.
Oh,
it's so true. It's so true. There's, what, 2 episodes left, I think, this season, right?
Yeah.
Can you give us some teasers at all? Some hints?
I cannot. Absolutely, I cannot. But I can say that it's going to just be the most incredible finale that anyone's ever seen. And I'm a huge fan, like a huge fan. And for me, knowing what's going to happen, I can assure people that they're just going to be stoked.
That's just mean. I don't like being teased.
What do you want me to do? They have like Walking Dead like snipers like sitting there ready to like execute if I like reveal any secret.
So is it true that Abraham is actually Rick's father from the past?
That is true, yes.
Okay, I heard there's going to be time travel brought in the last episode. So
you are absolutely right.
Now I've read the books, and without giving out too many spoilers, if they're following the books, you were going to be promoted to a pretty main character next year. Is that happening?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you yes. I wish the answer was yes, but I truly don't know. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, because I know that Rosita is still alive in the comic books, apparently, and
Yep.
she has kind of a big character.
Yep.
And I would hope that they would stick to that, but I don't know. So, knock on wood. That'd be nice.
now the show after Walking Dead, they do the Talking Dead. Or any word of you being invited to that anytime soon? Can we see you on that show?
I don't know. Maybe I'm a loose cannon. Maybe they're like, we should wait. But hopefully.
Just remember, when you go on Talking Dead, you tell those guys who had you first. Like we're Canadian Talking Dead up here.
I will let them know that they got second take.
Now brings us to the maybe biggest and final question. In a real life zombie apocalypse scenario, what is your survival strategy? Maybe you're going to draw on things you learned from the show. First thing you do, world's taken over by zombies. What are you going to do, Christian?
I'm going to, grab my things here from the house, grab my puppies, get my mom, and then I would try to find somewhere very high, and I would try to, cut it off and make it very safe as I could. But I would definitely want to be high. I would be stressed out if I weren't.
I think we'd all want to be high. We'd forget about this. just get high, and whatever happens, hey?
I want to be elevated.
Oh.
On high.
No.
I would die off very quickly if I was intoxicated or high. I would just take me now.
Could you imagine? You'd end up walking in like an old Pizza Hut because you're all hungry, and then you just get eaten by zombies.
Yeah, that's not a good idea at all.
But that's actually interesting, though, because on the show, I don't think they use that enough, the elevation thing. Like, everyone always stays on, like, the main level of houses. Like, why don't you, live in a treehouse or something?
No, that would be my absolute first instinct. I would totally want to be in, like, a high-rise building, like, on top of it or something. You can, like, grow things on the roof, like, farm on the roof stuff. What's happening?
What are you talking about? Growing things now, and I'm just no.
You guys are taking it somewhere else.
Don't worry, we will not.
I'm talking about farming to
Okay.
save life and feed yourself. Jesus.
If we weren't very polite, nice Canadian radio announcers, the things that we could do, but we won't. We don't worry. We're not going to.
With the interview. Great.
Hi, I'm Christian. I want to get high and grow things on a roof.
If I hear it get cut up like that, you guys are gonna get a strongly worded letter.
Did you have anything else, Seth? You wanted to?
No, that's it for me. I'm looking forward to seeing the last 2 episodes. I wish she could say more, but those snipers, I don't want them to get you.
I'm sorry.
Thanks again, Christian. We'll talk to you soon. Best of luck.
Oh, well, thank you guys. Have a good rest of your day.